Hey there, good morning. It's Nakimbe, and even though it's Tuesday, I'm gonna gripe because I realize that I think as a part of this whole Mapdom series, I'm gonna have something called Marketing Gripe Mondays. And even though I try to be positive all the time, I figured that, most people are grumpy on a Monday anyway. So this little grumpy piece of complaining might actually make people feel better. That's how I'm trying to justify this, because I'm usually always about positivity and good energy and all that good stuff. Anyway, so this is my Monday morning gripe. Whew, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call this. I think this is going to be maybe something called Marketers Have Lives Too, or so you think marketing's easy or something. Because this is my gripe. I have a client right now who has a really great cause. Oh, excuse me while I scratch my back. I have a client right now who is putting on an event for a really great cause, and the budget is very, very low. But it's a good cause, and I want to help, and I like marketing. I like the practice of it. I love doing it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll do it. I didn't quite realize that I truly take on all of my clients' campaigns like they are my own. Like, I am super competitive. I am completely detailed and excellence oriented, and I am putting in a fair amount of work for this project, similar to what I would do for my own business. I mean, not quite as much, because I would go like super mega all the way, no gaps for my own campaign, but for this one, but still getting way more value than most people ever get marketing exposure to in a lifetime. And I can absolutely say that confidently, because I just think that I'm really good at what I do. Anyway, so for the meager budget, I have already done some of the banners. So basically all the work that I'm doing, like the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours of work that I'm putting in a day to this one project that isn't paying me when I have clients that pay me on a monthly basis, really adds up. And I don't think that the client gets it. And I realize that most people don't know this. So this is what this is. This is a behind the scenes day of a life in a marketer. I'm going to call this something like that. But so anyway, you have to realize that there's so much that goes into designing something. So the first thing I had to do was, have a consultation with the client, again, find out their who, what, where, why, whens, their, just why they're doing the whole project. You guys already know that. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that. So anyway, by the way, I went to Best Buy yesterday to go get a cordless mic so that I can make my videos a little bit more professional, and a tripod, and they didn't have anything that I like, so now I'm gonna get it online, and I've worked out some budget stuff, so everything's on point. Anyway, sorry, you know me and my tangents. So I just want you to know these videos are going to they're gonna get better quality as time goes on, and as I learn, I teach you, and then you learn, and then you do, and then we're all happy and successful, right? So anyway, do the whole intake interview, find out about all of the different personas, which we did, and then we, created different banners. So what people may not realize is this is what happens after we collect that information from you. Then we have to figure out how to speak to each person. So we sort of have to come up with the language or the course or the storyboard kind of thing, as people like to say. And then you have to consider, what are the key elements in this message? What do we have to have on this banner? You don't want to have anything that's missing. You want to make it, for example, with this particular client, because it's for young people, you want to make sure that they know there's going to be a live DJ and entertainment and lunch, and that it's free, because that's going to entice them. Otherwise, it's like a motivational conference. They may have a notion that it's going to be really boring. So we had to put those elements in there. Saying that there were swag bags, we had to put those kind of elements in there. And then we sort of also have to think about the imagery. So we have to think about what images we want to use, and then somebody has to go and source that images. Now, can you imagine how long it takes to go in and look through different images to pick the right one? So that actually takes a lot amount of time. And then we have a group of freelancers that we work with. We don't believe in being tethered to a desk or having a 9 to 5. If you could work at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, go ahead and do that. So we have a pool of contractors that we've picked whose work that we like, and they work with Mapdom. And when we've got a job, then we reach out to one of them and, we see if they're not busy, because maybe they have full-time jobs or whatever, and hey, do you want to do this? And so we have to send that out there, and we have to wait for somebody to get back to us, and then somebody has to actually draw out what the banner's going to look like, put this here, put this there, or say to them, go ahead and use your own creative direction, because we don't want to tie their hands, right? Or we don't want to lose their creativity. So we still have to draw it out, but we kind of ask them to come up with something. They send us something back and we're like, oh my gosh, we completely love it, let's go that way. Or we're like, you know what, can you try this? That takes time. So we're waiting for the person to get back to us, and there's this communication that goes back and forth, and then that happens, and then we get the proofs. And you might have a couple edits in between there, which takes, a couple of days, or it could be as much as a week. And then we get back the proofs, and we're like, okay, and then we have to send it to our copy editor, because we have to make sure there are no spelling mistakes and that everything makes sense or whatever. So, she takes a look at it, she reads everything, and then she okays it or not, usually not. It goes back to the designer makes the changes, and then I sign off on it, and then I give it to the client. And then the client takes a look and gets back to me, and there could be more changes. So, when you guys are just getting a banner and you're thinking, what, like, I'm paying you this money, and how come everybody's not buying my product or signing up for my seminar or webinar or buying my book or coming into my restaurant, whatever the case is, marketing is a process. It takes a long time, and it's harder and harder to do now because there's so much noise. People are bombarded with so much stuff, and like I had mentioned in one of my last videos, they can just delete it if they want to. So anyway, note to self, I'm like, you're talking a lot here, and this is supposed to be a quick little Monday thing, so guess what? We're going to edit this video, and we're going to have two versions available. One, the quick Monday morning gripe marketing story or whatever, where, this will be edited and you'll get just the highlights, and then we'll have the extended version, right? You have to offer people different options. It's just like when you were in school, and, kids have different learning styles. Some are, visual learners, some are auditory, some are tactile. They have to do the thing to learn the thing. So in marketing, your little tip right now is that you have to be able to offer everything to everybody, basically. So you have to consider different ways of presenting information, long, short, video, audio, written. We've already talked about this. Anyway, going back to my client. Whew. So that happens for all of the banners, and then we have to figure out where we're going to post it. So we have to do that whole audience analysis, like I was saying. Who are they? Where are they? What are they doing? What are they talking about? And we have to sort of infiltrate, and we have to, sort of put our ad there and make sure that it's interesting and it's captivating. So there's a lot of hours of research that goes into that. Like, even if we're advertising, we have to know to which audience we're advertising. We have to know what to say in the headline. We have to know what's going to be captivating. You guys have no idea how much work goes into a marketing campaign and how detailed it really is. Anyway, so yeah, so then once the banners are ready, it's like, okay, who's our audience? And we also have to look for different audiences for the different personas. So for example, with this particular example, we have to look for people who are looking for jobs and post the job banner about the event there. Then we have to look for people who are, concerned with gun violence. What kind of groups on Facebook are talking about this? And then we have to post the banner there. We have to tag them, oh my goodness. And yeah, so that has to happen for every single banner. And then on top of that, you have to decide where you're posting. Are you posting on Facebook? Are you posting on Instagram? Are you posting on Twitter? And depending on which channel you're posting to, you have to modify the banner and the message to suit the channel. If it's Twitter, people are scrolling through that really, really quickly, so you just have to have like a quick picture, big bold letters, boom. They have to get all the information really quickly, and just you have like a limited character count, right? Whereas if it's Facebook, it can be a little bit longer. You can have a little bit more detail. So all of that also has to be worked out just for one banner, or just for one like streamline or one audience. So then after that, then we have to decide when we're posting, how are we posting? How are we going to get people to share? What information? Is it going to be quick? Like, hey, stop gun violence in Toronto. Do you want to stop gun violence in Toronto? Register for this free event. Boom, bang, bing, that's it. You also want to know, do you want to let people know right away it's on a Thursday? You have to let people know that it's free. You bold, you capitalize it. So again, the word free psychologically captures people's attention. That's why I told you Maptim is so good at marketing, because this is just stuff that we know, and stuff that we'll teach you. But anyway, excuse me. Yeah, we had to make sure that we included the word free. We wanted to make sure that girls didn't go, right? We wanted to make sure adults didn't go, because only for people from 15 to 30. So we had to be really clear in the description, black youth males, register now. And one of the things that the client wasn't doing before was including the registration in the description. You would have to read on the banner where to go. So you're giving people extra work. We had to make sure that we included the link there. We don't want to include something that looks really tacky. That's www.eventbrite.com blah 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 event name.abc // hashtag #2_8 exclamation mark. We didn't want to put that in the Facebook description because it looks ugly. So we have to go to, a URL shortening site. We have to go there, and then we have to think about what's something catchy people will remember. So Stop Gun Violence Toronto or Youth Jobs. All of that has to be thought about and created and written. So there are so many steps just involved even to get your post up. Then you have to tag people, and you have to figure out the people to tag, and you want to tag different people. You don't want to keep tagging the same people and annoying them, so each post should really have different tags. And then you have to figure out what is the best time and day to post. You don't just post at 1 o'clock in the morning. You don't just post on a Wednesday at 8 a.m. We know when people are online. We know, and so we schedule the post there. All of that thought and strategy goes into just posting in one place. So this is all the work that is going on behind the scenes for this client, right, who does not understand the marketing process, which is why I'm making this video for all of you buyers of marketing process. If you have a really good company, you have to realize there are so many things, so many moving parts going on behind the scenes. So anyway, love this gentleman, great heart, great motivation, great mission and cause. He wants to call me often. And when I'm working, I'm working. And when I'm home in the evening, I'm with my family. I might be on the computer, I might be texting on the phone, but I'm not going to take time away from my family to have a conversation, when I'm not being paid for it. You have to realize, when I just described to you all of the work, that's hours and hours of work a day. When I've done all of those hours of work for you a day, when work time is shut off. Work time is shut off. We're not having a live conversation, and this is why different clients pay different amounts of money. It's what, if you're paying me $6 to $8 grand a month, I will jump on the call with you anytime. I'll be like, baby, you know what, boo, hold on a second. Can you pause the movie? I got to take this call. That's just what's going to happen. But when you're not paying me, and I've been working all of those hours, I'm not taking a call from you. So again, when you buyers of marketing products want to see these different levels of tiers, like email only support or phone call support, it's oh, well, why should I pay this? Well, it's because you're one person, and I know that you're the most important person to all the people in your world, but you are one of maybe 11,000 people who just wants a minute of our time. And that 1 minute of our time never turns into 1 minute. It's never 1 minute. And this guy, God love him, is verbose. So every, 2-minute conversation ends up being 22 minutes. I cannot do that. So, so he's calling and calling and calling. I'm I'm sorry, I'm not available. I'm only available digitally or electronically. And I understand that he may feel put off, and it's nothing personal. You actually don't even see all the love and the work and the grind that is going on behind the scenes to make sure that your campaign is successful. And then marketers always also suffer from guilt, because we want your campaigns to succeed. Our name is on the line. Our paycheck is on the line. We know that. We want you to succeed. So when you're not getting the numbers that you want, we also don't feel happy about it, which is why we want to do our best. But you have to realize that, as Todd Brown, my guru, taught me, and I want everyone to understand this message, is that it takes an incredible amount of work to get people to move to action to buy your service or product. It is way more, oh my gosh, like impossibly more difficult and challenging than you think. All the gurus and all the Facebook sponsored ads make you want to think that it's really, really easy. And it's really, really not. So like getting 1% conversion is like, woo, you know, depending on different things. Landing pages should have a different conversion rate, and this should have a different open rate, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, actual conversion, like money in your pocket, somebody actually bought your product or service, that's like a 1% conversion rate. You know what I mean? So obviously marketing takes money, marketing takes effort. You have to have huge, huge numbers and huge, huge touch points just to get a little, you know. So when I get like 5 registrations or 2 registrations in less than a week, and I know that the banners and the descriptions are being effective, I'm excited. And I'm also excited, you know what else we do? We also go back and we analyze and we check to see, you know, which banners were performing the best, and we use those, or we promote those, or we circulate those most. So we're also doing data analysis for you and research, and we're also, you know, writing press releases and researching to which communication and publications, you know, should we send those to. There's so much work going on. So when I don't take your call, don't take it personally, but I cannot give any more than I'm giving right now, and I'm doing it all right now for free. You know what I mean? And so it sounded bad, but I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't take your call. You do not pay me enough to talk to me. Like, and that's not a snobby thing, but it's just like, for me to stop talking to my loved ones, or to stop cooking, or to stop, you know, self-care or whatever, to be on call, on duty, on work 24/7 all the time, that can't be. And if I'm going to disrupt my freedom for you, which is the only reason why I do business in the first place, is to get more money, to have more options, just to have more time, freedom to live life on my terms, so that I'm not a corporate slave to anybody. The only reason that I work this hard, because I'm trying to buy my freedom. So to give you my freedom, there's a cost for me. And I have to pass that cost on along to you. So that, my friend, is my Monday morning gripe, which is why I cannot sometimes take your call. And I really want you to understand the work that a good marketer does for you behind the scenes. You absolutely have no idea. It's just like all of the artists that seem to come out on the scene from nowhere. I remember this was a lesson I learned with Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera way back then. I know I'm dating myself, but who cares? And it's kind of like, oh my gosh, they just kind of popped on the scene. No, they were like Disney kids. They had been doing this for like 15 years, you know, and bam. So when you guys get your banners and your descriptions, and it seems so easy, like we just showed up and like boom, boom, bang, here you go. No, so much work goes into it. So I'm so sorry. We actually can't chat now. And the other last thing I wanted to say is that marketers have lives too. Marketers have lives too. And what I mean is, what my client doesn't know is that while I'm putting on a brave face and communicating with you and making sure that I'm not being rude in my text and, you know, smiling and saying thank you, and I really just want to sort of reach in and wring your neck, because I don't have time to explain all of this to you, which is why it's good in a video. Just watch this video. I can't explain this to every client who calls and doesn't understand why I'm not spending time with them. It's draining. I could be working on a campaign right now, right? But, again, I forgot my damn thought about all the work that we do. Oh yeah, stuff that's going on in my personal life, and saying that marketers have lives too. Yeah, there's stuff going on in my family right now, like serious health challenges. You know, serious people have stress right now. Serious people are, you know, mentally fragile or are at a breaking point. People have financial challenges right now. People have family dynamic challenges right now. I just got a call that my grandmother, who is my life and my heart, is in the hospital. You know what I mean? And I still have everything else in my life to do, but you don't know this. You don't know my family dynamics and the struggles that I'm going through and dealing with. You don't know that I may just be holding on to everything by a thread, and still producing amazing, wonderful, massive results for you that you don't necessarily understand or appreciate because you don't know how difficult it is to even get recognition online, and you're getting recognition. And I understand that you might be upset that you're not getting the sale or the buy or whatever, or the registration, but it is coming, and we are actually doing very well. But I understand when buyers don't have a scale with which to compare anything, you really don't understand. But when you're in the marketing world and you really understand and know what's going on, then you'll know that we've actually mapped them, and myself have actually done very, very, very well for you in spite of everything that is just going on with life. And remember, this is all just one campaign, one client. There are other campaigns, there are other clients. I'm going to speaking events. I also have to grow my own business. Like, it is crazy a lot to deal with. So that's my Monday morning gripe. Just, marketers have lives too. Please appreciate that we actually really do work very hard for you.